Do you ever feel like machines are taking over, AI and robots are going to take away your job and leave you with nothing? Well, many people are feeling that way, but there's actually a way we can turn it around, and we're going to show you in this video how to do that. How you can really take the AI, and I know this is going to sound crazy, make it so that it's even more human for humans to be together. We can do that. This is the key, and we're going to show you how to do it. I've been working with technology now for many, many years, and I want to show you how we can do that by enhancing human connections, yeah, through AI. It sounds crazy, but we're going to be able to do it. You see, what we do is we're going to take artificial intelligence, and we're going to let it amplify empathy. Yeah, exactly. Empathy, so it'll understand more what's going on, fostering deeper connections with human beings and enhance the human experience when we do it the right way, when it's implemented thoughtfully. That's a key. What you want to do is we're going to take a look at that in this presentation as we express how AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude, and many, many others are particularly going to help entrepreneurs and content creators. I'm Terry Brock, and I've been doing this now for a long time. You can get in touch with me over at terrybrock.com. We're going to be talking about how you can do that. I speak with groups all over the world about how you can take the tools of AI and implement them to reach customers and forge that better human relationship. That's the real key. See, it's the paradox of humanizing technology. What we want to do is we're going to take the technology that's out there and use it to serve people better. And that's being done right now by some very smart companies that we're going to talk about in this presentation to let you see how they're doing it, who they are, and then more importantly, how you can do that. You're going to be able to do that in different ways, like growing anthropomorphism. There's a good word, anthropomorphism, meaning we're giving human feelings to inanimate objects, in this case, particularly to robots. 38% of US adults feel connected to digital assistants like Siri or Alexa. This is interesting. We start calling them like they're our children or our good friends. This is normal. Secondly, emotional projection. We're seeing that people are doing that now. 37% believe that impatience with AI tools constitutes unkindness. You can be unkind to the AI. Really? Well, it's because we're getting close to them. And I think if we can foster human connection and caring for each other, even if it's looking at machines and robots, hey, I think that's a good thing. Good things can happen. And a third area, generational differences. This was interesting. Listen to this. Millennials lead this trend with 20% attributing emotional capacity to AI. I think that's growing on a regular basis. And so what we want to do is find out, okay, how do we use that for business, for content creators, to make sure we connect more with people? Because there's often a loneliness epidemic going on right now. We see the AI companions with products like Replica and Gatebox holographic avatars are filling an emotional gaps. I'm seeing it all the time as we work with many different tools. Just yesterday, I was working with some tools I'm going to be showing to our Stark Raving Entrepreneur group that gives you the ability to have a conversation with a robot, and it sounds very authentic, like you were talking to another human being. The technology has gotten that level. It's wonderful that we can do it, but we've got to exercise some cautions, and we're going to talk about that also on this particular video. Here's another nice thing about it, 24/7 report. These tools that we're talking about are going to offer you constant availability when the human connection is lacking. So for example, I'm doing some studying right now where I'm using AI to help me learn Spanish. I speak a little bit of Russian, speak a little bit of Japanese. Makes more sense, Terry, you live in Florida, for crying out loud. Learn Spanish, and I'm loving it. Spanish is a great language, much easier to learn than for me as a native English speaker than Japanese or Russian, but I love it. And now I get 24/7 support. I get someone I can ask over and over and over, relentlessly practicing it. And you know, that's a great way to learn anything. What you want to do is you keep practicing it. A human being can get tired of it and go, don't you get it already after the 453rd time, Terry? Well, maybe it takes that 454th time to actually get it, to make it happen. So you're going to get 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever it's convenient for you, support, and make sure that's going to happen. Plus, Simulated intimacy. Well, now that's kind of interesting. All creatures experience that mimic human relationships. You're going to have AI, it's going to create that. Now, I don't know exactly where all that's going, but let's just say if it helps people to get along better, that's going to be a good thing. Another thing we want to look at is the human-centered AI design. Now, this is kind of interesting. When you look at how they're doing it right now, we're seeing that we start with transparency, making sure that things are open, making AI that is going to be decision-making processes that are going to be explainable to users. So it's going to be able to do something that we need. We're going to say, okay, this is how we're doing it. We want to say right up front what's going on. For those that are content creators, this is important. Because as content creators, we know that you can get AI to write for you. Too many people are copying it and then just pasting it in there. That's not the way to do it, because then you're losing your own feeling, your personality, your voice, as we say. What I would recommend instead is you copy, paste, and then customize. Customizing it, giving it your voice, giving it your feeling, your attitudes of how you're going to do what needs to be done, and let that be done. Secondly, we're also going to look at the contextual adaptability, so that you're using real-time ideas, you're using those real-time sentiment analysis to find out what's going on. And you adjust responses appropriately. That's very important. Sentiment analysis lets the machine sense, what are these people really thinking? Are they liking it or not? And sometimes you just look at a transcript, that's not going to be good enough. I could say, oh, this was really good. And you hear me, would think as a human being, oh, I liked it. Maybe I was eating that sandwich and it was really good. Or if I say the same words, yeah, this sandwich was really good, you can tell by my inflection, body language, I didn't think that was such a good sandwich. They're building it into AI now so that you have that sentiment analysis. Understand, do people really like this? Or is it something that they really are going to go in a different direction on? We need to know that. This is important for business. Also, ethical guidelines and the guardrails that you're going to put in there, the guidelines and the guardrails to say, wait a minute, okay, we're going over the line here. We got to look at those and get people who are really, really smart and really, really care for this and using it in business. Because what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at mitigating the biases through interdisciplinary teams of experts. People that say, wait a minute, you might think that's okay, but it's not there. We want to look at, I like the idea of inclusivity by people with different ideas, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, all of that coming together, and we get a chance to learn from each other. We do that not by force or coercion, but because we know we can become better people by listening to others. Here's an example. Starbucks is using this now with sentiment analysis. Catch this. They're using AI to monitor customer feedback across social media and to review the platforms. When people say, yeah, that coffee tasted real good, just in the way that I said that, you know I didn't like the coffee. Versus, boy, that coffee tasted real good. Same words, different sentiment. I think you know what I'm talking about. And the trend identification, systems are going to be able now to identify the emerging issues like dissatisfaction with menu items or something. They go, gee, they didn't have any of the stuff that I wanted, the Oogie Flipper Lookie Doo-Doos or whatever. That's a real popular item. Put that in there and be able to say, I want that. It can start checking on that. And also, continuous improvement. It blends AI scalability with human creativity for better outcomes. You get the best of both. And I think that's a real key in this whole thing. What we're doing is we're not saying it's all human or it's all AI. It's the appropriate blend that is contextually sensitive. Find out how much do we need a little bit more of the human beings here? Where do we need a little bit more of the robots? I'll give you an example. Somebody that's calling the help center, sometimes you want to get an answer rapidly, and it can be given rapidly. What are your hours today? How late are you open? Where are you located in town? What's the price you have today on the such and such item? That can be given pretty rapidly, and sometimes people just want to know it quickly. Other times, something's not working. I need to talk to a real human being. Can you relate to that? I see, okay, there's something going wrong, and I need to talk with a human. I don't want to just press another button for crying out loud. Let me go, and I want to be able to do this. Well, now with AI, it can take it and work with it either way, whichever one's going to be most appropriate. And then listening for that human response. It alerts the human teams to design targeted solutions. So we can build it in there. This is the ideal. Deal with a robot, deal with the AI first, because often that will answer a lot of the most common questions. But you have it available so that, boom, it can go over to a human being. Make sure that that's happening. Amazon's another good company that targets this, and they show us really how to do it right, I think. Amazon's got a recommendation engine right now, and we want to talk about that. 4 key points in that recommendation engine. First, it's data collection. What they're doing is they're analyzing individual purchase decisions, your history, the decision you made, and browsing behaviors. What are you looking for? And they find out what it is that this person likes with their full permission. Very important. I like it that Amazon understands what I like and what I bought before, and others who are like me bought these products as well. It puts it in front of me and I go, that looks interesting. Let me try it. I try it and I go, hey, that's fabulous. I really like it. I'm glad it worked that way. Doing it the right way is really the key, and it's a combination of the human element and the AI working together. Not either or, but both and. And also that relates to the pattern recognition. So what we want to do there is the AI is going to identify, and it's going to relate to that the preferences and the potential interests to find out what it is you like. And then personalized suggestions, where it generates the hyper-personalized product recommendations, things that are so much like you. You like that brown this, and you like that brown that, and that. Well, we got another thing here in brown. That's your color. Really looks good on you, et cetera, et cetera. Those kind of things are there. And then for business, the revenue impact. This is important. It accounts for 35%. That's a lot of money. Amazon's revenue. We're talking billions of dollars here. Very important. And here's another company that's doing it right. Sephora. They're using chatbot ecosystem for some great things. 73% wait time reduction when they did this. That's important. When you can get someone on the line quickly and get my answer right now, I'm liking that a lot. AI assistants now are handling the routine queries about the store hours or product availability, like I was mentioning before, to find out, do you have any of the such and such there? Do you have any of this kind of item, etc.? And a 22% satisfaction increase. That translates down to the bottom line. The human staff can now focus on complex consultations that are improving the overall experience. You get the idea here? What we're doing is we're taking the best of the humans, the best of the robots, and putting them together. Not either or, but both and. You're going to be able to say, okay, this is how we do it. This is how we make these things happen in a big way. And then here's a real nice one, 24/7 availability. Our world today is like that. Customers can receive the support even outside business hours. You know what it's like today. We are looking for solutions, and we're going to get answers from companies 24/7, sometimes on holidays. I remember just a little while ago, I was running into problems with a little program I had just purchased. Well, I went over to their website. This was on a holiday, and I typed in a question, and it came back with an answer within 10 seconds. And that was okay, but it wasn't quite right. I said, yeah, but what about this? Then it went a step further and answered it. It was built into the programming. And this is what every business needs to start thinking about. How can we do this and make it happen so that what we're doing is we're moving in there to make sure, hey, we are going to be here to help you and to get the solutions that you need when you need them 24/7. Also, we're seeing some stories of very good moving stories that are empathy at scale. This is when you can start making the kind of decisions that you need. With a narrative collection, you can take any transaction that you're going to have with the immigrant stories and experiences, take those kind of stories that others have had and experienced, and then move those into what can work for you. And then look at emotional analysis. Understand things like that. Like NLP, that will give you tools, which are natural language processing tools, so that they identify the emotional cues and themes. It can sense the difference between, yeah, that was a good sandwich, and yeah, it was a good sandwich. Same words, different natural language processing is required. And the connection building. You're able to use this by matching the community members with other shared experiences, putting them together. And here's the real key. empathy, growth. So that you start out and you're working with that. Our early traits show that we're seeing a 40% increase in sympathy metrics among users. So in the empathy as well as the sympathy, all of that working together, what we're seeing is people are saying, all right, we want to feel close to people. And when you can design a system that does that for you, then you're in really good shape. You're going to make sure that it's working much better and using tools the right way. So what are some of those tools that are there? Well, some of them are tools like content creation tools that we're using now, ChatGPT, of course, my old buddy Perplexity that I like because it taps into a host of others and then gives us some extra capabilities to produce some very attractive pages for handouts or spaces where we can work and get things done. I've been using Grok a lot and really love the quality of pictures that it's giving us. When we use those tied into X, I can do a lot with that. Taja, another great tool that gives us the ability to get a description, to generate thumbnails. Yeah, it generates thumbnails for you. I love it. Just use that today for another video I put together. Taja, that's T-A-J-A, Taja gives you the ability to do all of those kinds of things very nicely. Castmagic, one of my favorites. I can take the video. Matter of fact, we're going to be using that for all of our videos. We still are. On this video that I'm doing for you, hey, this is a creator to creator behind the door. What I'm doing is I take what I've got and then I use Castmagic to give me a transcript of it, to give me introductions, to give me a starting rough draft. Then I take it and I turn it into my own words, modifying, adjusting from there. And Gamma is another great tool. Matter of fact, I'm using that right now. I went into deep research, got information for what I'm talking to you about here, moved it into Gamma, which grabbed all of those components, gave me about 40 pages of slides, and then I just bring that right into my Apple Keynote, and it works beautifully. Something that is amazing what it can do and how you can start using this. I would recommend take a look at some of these tools and how they can help you. They're really nice. And you like that little bounce there? Put it in there, the little bounce that you could use that. And here's another tool that's doing it right, Grammarly. I'm not using Grammarly myself, but I know others that are. I used it a few years ago and really enjoyed it. Great program, and they do a lot with it. You can do a lot with conversations. For instance, you can get a conversational tone that suggests edits to make copy feel, well, more approachable and more friendly. So you've got something there that's really going to help you in a big way. Also, the urgency calibration. It gives you the ability to create the appropriate sense of urgency without appearing desperate. It's sensing what's going on. And I think that's where the best of AI comes in. When it starts really sensing, okay, what is it that people want? What is it that they're doing? What can we do to make this thing better than ever? And by using these together, again, the human and the robot together. Also, you can use this for a lot of other things with empathy. The empathy, caring for people, and make sure you enhance that, because with this, it's going to identify the opportunities to increase the emotional connection. All of this is to benefit human beings, and it's working. Well, how do we do that? A hybrid workflow framework can really help. Human beings operating with robots using human judgment. You reserve the final creative decisions for the human team members. Humans make the final decision. And in the midst of that, we have a collaborative refinement. So the humans and AI iterate on the content together. And with AI analysis, use AI for data integration and trend identification. I guess you could use a tread as well if you're working in there and you got some tires. You want to get some good tread there, but the trend identification is really what you're looking at. Okay, where are we going? What are people looking for? Again, that sentiment analysis is nice. I was just speaking a while back with some people who were in the deli and bakery industry. We did some analysis and sentiment analysis, looking what people are looking for and projecting where they're going. So we had a good idea of what kind of purchases their customers are going to be making within the next 6 months or so. This is really important. That AI analysis gives you a lot of capabilities with it. And then here is one that's really important. Starbucks is doing this a lot as well. Human in the loop systems. I love this blend. Write this down because this is something that most every business can use. Your business can probably use this in a really big way. You're going to use AI analysis, the systems that will process data and generate initial recommendations. Not a command, it's not doing it, it's just a recommendation. Then it goes to a human review. This is brilliant. Qualified professionals then evaluate, they're using their brain, thinking about it, the AI suggestions. Then we take it and refine it. Oh yeah, humans modify the recommendations based on context and expertise. Hey, someone might have more expertise in this area. Let that person do this. She might know a whole lot more about a given topic than the others do. Wonderful. Let's bring in that more inclusive thinking so we get a variety of different opinions all the way around. Then we implement. This is where it gets moving. Final human-approved decisions are put into action. That is good. As a matter of fact, that is a model to use in content creation as well. My friends who are producing content, yeah, like I am, what you want to do is you want to tie into what people are thinking, what they're saying. And when you're writing and producing it, start with your ideas, then let AI modify it. Like in writing something, let it clean up your spelling. Let it give you suggestions for grammar. Now, sometimes you might want to use improper grammar depending on how you're communicating, for a laugh, for fun, to make a strong point. Yeah, but AI will be subservient to the humans. I think they're doing a great job of this at Starbucks, and we can borrow from that and say, all right, we're going to use similar kinds of functionality as well. Also, you want cultural adaptation tools. So for instance, what you're going to be able to do is look at regional idioms, how they're saying it. They say things differently. Have you noticed there's a difference between Boston and Austin? Yeah, we say things a little bit differently. So what you'll do is you'll humanize the AI Pro, and that adjusts the content for the local expressions and the sayings. People will be able to be a little bit different. That's just one way. And then look at the historical context. This incorporates cultural sensitivities based on regional histories. Find out what was good here and maybe what what happened before that we want to avoid now. These are important as well. And then here's the most important, customization. Make sure that you avoid the, well, one size fits all, this one here is for everyone approach to the content creation. No, you want to turn that around and adapt it differently. Be context aware of emotional intelligence. That is really important there. You want to listen to voice analysis. As a matter of fact, that's what the machines are doing now. They're going in and they're listening for the analysis. So that, for instance, with Google's MUM, the MUM detects the subtle emotional cues and the voice tone, like I was talking about before. Your tone is there. And when you can get a machine to do that and then alert a real human being to come in and help, now you got the combination you need. And look at the typing pattern. Sometimes the way they type says something as well. The systems can identify emotions through the keyboard interaction style. I guess they can really tell if they're banging on the keyboard. That would say something right there. And you want to follow up with that. And nuanced responses. These nuanced responses are going to help you because the AI generates replies calibrated to the emotional response of what people are saying, what they like and what they don't like. And this one, by the way, I love this picture here. Those of you that are catching this on video, that picture there of the man, the lady, and the robot helping her, this is what it's really all about. It's augmentation over automation. It can help you with repetitive tasks so that the robots can handle that. The AI will be able to handle the data processing, the scheduling, and the routine communications, just the regular stuff. And then that frees us up for the human focus, that people can concentrate on creative thinking and the emotional connection. Balanced workflow means what you're going to do is you're going to have teams that achieve higher productivity while maintaining quality relationships. Using the combination of AI and human beings, we're going to get the very best of both. Here are 4 things that are very important also with your ethical AI literacy. Ethical AI literacy is very important. We got to be careful of our bias recognition. The training that we get can help teams identify potential AI prejudices. Find out where it is. Sometimes it's a hallucination. AI can hallucinate. In other words, say something that's wrong. but we want to check that. Then you want to have limitation awareness. Understand where AI should not replace human judgment. We've got to build that in. That is critical. Otherwise, the AI could take over and, hey, those sci-fi movies might become real. I think we're going to be able to avoid that. We as human beings are going to be smarter. And then implementation guidelines. When you're implementing it, have your frameworks in place for responsible AI deployment in your various contexts. And also continuous education. Regular updates on emerging ethical considerations, what's going on and what should be done. So it's really the value of human uniqueness. We let human beings do their thing and let robots do their thing as well. We have each doing what's best and blending it together so that we have AI's greatest value, which may really lie in reminding us what makes us uniquely human. Isn't that interesting? That it will help us to know what we're doing uniquely human. Empathy, creativity, and meaningful storytelling. This is where it is right now. We've got to make sure that we work with that. So here's how you do it. You're going to build trust through an AI-human balance, achieving authentic connection, meaningful relationships that are built on transparency. In addition to that, we're going to look at ethical implementation. So you have responsible AI use and you have some clear boundaries. AI will not do this. AI can do that. And then we're going to look at the augmented capabilities where we say, okay, we have an enhanced human ability through thoughtful AI integration. And then we're going to take a look at the technical foundation. The technical foundation means it's reliable and you got well-designed AI systems. That little graph right there can really help you a lot. This gives you the ability to see, okay, how are we going to do this thing? How do we make it work so that, hey, it's going to be better all the way around? And so that as we're moving within the different parameters, getting the job done in different areas, we're going to let AI do what it does best and let humans do what they do best. As we see the combination of them, we see them both moving around, doing that. So your key takeaways for this right now, I think is, first of all, you want to take a look at that. Balance is essential. That balance is going to give you the ability to know when do you do this with a human, when do we do it with a robot, with AI. Also, the AI should augment rather than replace the human connection. That's key. It is not replacement. It is augmentation. But you've got to learn what's going on with that. Also, we're going to look at ethics first. What is the proper thing to do? We're going to prioritize transparency, bias mitigation, and human oversight, making sure humans are looking at this to determine what do we need to do here and what should we not be doing. And then, very, very important, measure the impact. Find out what's going on. Use emotional analytics to quantify and improve the engagement. You see, we're taking the best of both. That's what matters in all of this. We're taking what human beings can do, we're taking what robots can do, AI, and we put them together. By putting them together, you get the very best of both. This is going to help you to achieve the kind of goals that you need and to really get ahead of the competition as you're using the best of both to get it all done. Also, we're going to take a look at humanity, celebrating it. Celebrating humanity and saying, yeah, this is what we want to do. We're going to make life better for human beings all the way around. So, like we started here, we're enhancing the human condition. Artificial intelligence, it can amplify the empathy, foster deeper connections, and enhance human experiences when implemented thoughtfully. That's important. And this presentation has done that. I'm Terry Brock with terrybrock.com. And hey, I got another goodie for you here that I want to help you with that's going to help you to do the kinds of things that need to be done in your work so that you're going to be able to really get ahead. We've got some updated, continually being revised training for you. You bounce over to AITools4biz.com. That's all in lowercase. AITools4biz.com, where we talk about tools like, yes, ChatGPT, Perplexity, DALL-E 3. We're also looking at many other tools that are out there that are helping you, like Taja, Castmagic, Gamma, tools that can help you in some major big ways, and this will help you. And if you're watching this on video, go ahead in there. You can get a QR, you can use that QR code and be able to jump over there and get it. There's no charge for this, and it's an ongoing course for you and your colleagues so they can start using it, people that are on your team and working with them. And we've got even more goodies for you. So check into these other videos that are out there. They will help you. And leave a note. Please share this with others so that they'll get the idea of how we can take AI, the best of that, the best of human beings, and make it a win all the way around. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me.